I was afraid of being alone. Now I live solo, and I love it. I didn't choose to be alone. It wasn't part of the plan, but life doesn't always ask for your permission before it rips the rug out from under you. And when it did, when the silence came, I thought it was going to swallow me whole. But what I didn't know, what nobody tells you, is that silence can be holy, and being alone can be the beginning of everything. Jack and I were married 34 years. 34 years. That's a lifetime. You'd think after that much time, you'd at least see it coming when it ends. But I didn't. There was no big betrayal, no shouting, just a slow, quiet death of connection. 1,000 small moments that chipped away at us until all we had left were calendars and grocery lists. The morning he left, he didn't slam the door. He just took his coat, looked at me with tired eyes, and said, "I can't do this anymore." And you know what's worse than being left? Not fighting it. Just nodding, because part of you left years ago too. The first few weeks I kept setting 2 places at the table. I couldn't help it. Muscle memory. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and reach for a body that wasn't there. The silence in the house wasn't peaceful. It was heavy, accusing. And the worst part? People vanish when you're no longer a couple. Friends don't know what to say. Family offers awkward condolences like you've died. But you're still here, walking around, trying to remember how to breathe. I started watching TV until 2 a.m. just to drown out the quiet. I ate standing over the sink. I didn't even bother folding the laundry. And I remember looking at myself in the mirror one night and thinking, is this it? Is this who I am now? The change didn't come like a lightning bolt. It was slower than that, more like thawing after a long, bitter freeze. One day, I opened the blinds. Just opened them. And the light hit the dust on the floor, and I thought, this house deserves better, and so do I. I cleaned. I lit a candle. I made real food and put it on a plate, not a paper towel. Then I did something crazy. I danced, right there in the kitchen, barefoot alone to an old Bonnie Raitt song, and I cried like a woman being reborn. I started doing things that used to make me feel alive. I painted for the first time in 40 years. My lines were crooked, the colors bled, but it was mine. I booked a solo weekend trip to the mountains. Everyone said, "Alone? At your age?" And I said, yes, especially at my age. I sat by a fire one night, wrapped in a blanket, watching the stars like they were showing up just for me. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel lonely. I felt free. Here's what they don't tell you. Solitude is not the same as loneliness. Loneliness is when you're aching for someone who's not coming back. Solitude is when you realize you don't need them to. It's choosing your own music, your own pace, your own damn peace. It's realizing you don't have to ask permission to exist how you want to. It's power, quiet power. Now my home is filled with quiet, but it's not the same silence that used to haunt me. This silence is warm, lived in, sacred. I take long walks by myself. I buy flowers and put them on my kitchen table. I laugh out loud at books. I cook just for me. And it tastes better than it ever did when I was pretending to be happy. So if you're where I was, sitting in a quiet house that feels too big, feeling invisible, unwanted, maybe even forgotten, I see you. And I promise you this: you are not broken. You are not used up. You are not alone in being alone. This is not the end of your story. It's a new chapter. And if you let it, it can be the most honest, beautiful, powerful one yet. Because being alone, that's not failure, that's freedom, in its purest, most personal form. Sometimes you have to lose everything to find yourself. Thank you for listening to Barbara's story of reclaiming her life. Subscribe for more real stories, told by real people, living real lives. Thanks for watching.